the question is, what we have discussed about the European colonialism in Africa, in Southeast Asia, or in other parts of the world has already ended, and now a new trend of the geopolitical situation is emerging in Africa, starting from Niger, from Mali, from Guinea, from Burkina Faso. These small countries are coming up with new ideas of establishing a real sovereign statehood for their nations, which is expelling the colonial power of France or England and other countries. We believe that in Southeastern countries, including Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, particularly those two Muslim countries who were the former colonial part of the British Empire and the French Empire. That's why we understand that after becoming independent after the 1960s, the countries has gained a relatively steady path of economic gain, political stability. However, since 2017, with the Chinese expansion policy of the geopolitical, economic expansion policy, the debt trap policy, Belt and Road Initiative policies, and other military expansion policies to the South China Sea that are posing a threat to these small countries, which is particularly two Muslim major countries, Malaysia and Indonesia. And from this perspective, we have been advocating that the Chinese colonialism or Chinese invasion policy in East Turkestan in the last 74 years' time has caused an irreversible impact to the overall situation of East Turkestan, including political, economic, human society, or the sustainable structure. So how do we see this type of trend is being analyzed in your respective countries, in Malaysia or Indonesia particularly?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa bihi nasta'in. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. It is very, it's like funny exam for me to answer the questions. It's very tough. However, talking about Malaysia, Indonesia, in these regions, we call it ASEAN region, we don't work, in silo. We have Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEANs, consists of 10 nations, and the populations in that regions is nearly 570 million people. And then we face the issues, whether geopolitical issues or economic issues or security issues together. This is the beauty of the ASEAN associations or regional organizations, that for the last nearly 40 years, these regional organizations create stability in that region, and all the countries or the members of the regions work together to face any issues. Yeah. Even if we focus today on China, we have issue in South China Sea, the disputes of overlapping claims of territory, and also the disputes or the crisis between U.S. and China in South China Sea. The U.S., the American believe that there is international water in South China Sea, but for ASEAN, there is overlapping claims from Malaysia, from Philippines, from Vietnam, Brunei, and there is a lot of resources in that particular region, sea. And then China is very interested to control that one of the busiest trade routes or sea route in the world, and a lot of resources, the oil and gas, and also maritime fisheries. And then Malaysia opposed for example, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, almost all nations in ASEAN opposed the new map proposed by the China recently. And this is, very openly, that we openly oppose the China expansion policy now. Though we are a small country, pound to pound, so we are not able to face China, whether politically or economically, for example, even Indonesia, one of the largest population in the world, Muslim in the world, but still we cannot face China. And put together all the 10 nations, still we cannot face China together. But we use our diplomacy, we use our regional organization to face China. Yeah. So I think better I give a simple or I try to make it easy to make our brothers and sisters to understand what is ASEAN is all about by presenting my slides here. Can you? Yeah. Yeah, please, next. Yeah.
Just pose this question to you at the right time. So you mentioned that the newly released map of the China is actually disturbing the ASEAN members. ASEAN has 11 member states,
Yeah.
and they got own charter to state that the member states are responsible to protect or deter the collective threat that posed against any of the member states.
Yeah.
And this, from this perspective, okay, so I would like to pose this question to you. We have seen that China has posed a new map, including the 9 dash points, which is basically invading the water territory of the ASEAN countries. So from this point of view, how important those member states of the ASEAN is able to comprehend that East Turkestan was an invaded or occupied country? Thank you.
Yeah, please, can you ask him to show? Yeah. Can you switch on my slide? This is number 28 slide. Number 28.
Yes.
Number 28.
Okay. Understand the ASEAN. Yep.
Another one.
Yana berqadam.
Again,
Tertam.
more.
Yana berni.
Another one. No, before that. Sorry. Before that. There is a new standard map of released by China. Another one. Before. No. Before this. Before this. Yeah. This is a standard map. And if you see this, how China, is this expansion's policy actually. And then if you ask me, I want to pass, one of the citizens of ASEAN, I see this is the real threat. That's why Malaysia against this map. And all this why, we enjoy our peaceful environment before this map, and even before the Chinese interest in South China Sea. And we used to share our resources, especially in terms of fisheries activities. Vietnamese came to close to our EEZ, exclusive economic zones, to do their fisheries, and also the other countries, Philippines. And there is we have some a little bit disputes among the countries, but we resolve it peacefully. Yeah, and then when a new character, a new country which is not share a similar culture, we're talking about China, mainland China, they came and encroach our territory in the sea territory, then it create a new perspective of conflict, of crisis. We are dealing with a different kind of creature that define international law differently. China, they have their own interpretation of international law. They define human rights differently as compared to other countries in the West, also in ASEAN region. well, for them, what happened probably in Turkistan is not against human rights. They're talking about national security, right? So we are facing the issues that probably the East Turkestan already faced 40 or 50 years ago. Now it's coming to our region, but as I say, pound to pound, we are not able to control China. They are a superpower, but how to manage this issue? We don't want to interfere a crisis between United States interest in South China Sea, because United States says this South China Sea is international water, it belongs to all. Freedom of navigation, that any country is free to use that sea road, for their trading activities. But once China, their control want to claim that this territory, this sea territory belong to them, it means that it's part of their sovereignty. So, and then it's talking about part of their land. The only the land is, in the water, but how we don't want to side it to any power. That's why in ASEAN we enjoy the biggest principle that protect our regions, the stability of our region, even with the neighboring countries of the ASEAN, and also with the superpower during the post-colonialism, and also during the Cold War and the post-Cold War, the principle of ZOFAN, zone of peace, neutral and stability, and neutrality. It means that we all the members is obliged not to take aside to any power, so either America or China or any other European power. Russia, for example, we maintain our status as a ZOFAN status. This region is zone of peace, and neutrality. We don't take a side, But once China, they propose the new standard map that released recently, other countries oppose it, including Malaysia and Indonesia, and then this is why I said we oppose it based on the international law. We have an Al-Quds, International Convention on Law of the Sea, that define territory. What is territorial water, what is easy, what is international water. And exactly this South China Sea, for the last 100 years, none of our countries in the region claim that territory is belong to any country of the region. We abide the UNCLOS. And America, though America is not the signatory of the UNCLOS, they also claim, try to highlight this is part of the international law of the sea. So this is how we try to manage. But there is a but there. Though there is a crisis in the ASEAN region, especially in this, created by the China, and partly by America, of course, because they are very interested with the region, especially the South China Sea, the Spratly Islands.
Again, another important fact that Southeast Asia, especially Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, Vietnam, these countries are hosting a significant proportion of the Muslim populations, which exceeds 350 million. By divisions, actually one of the 7 Muslims lives in this region. Yes or no? Okay. So I'm going to ask one bully question. I will ask yes or no questions. Just answer yes or no. Do you think, from the political perspective, that the Muslim population of those named countries, namely Malaysia, Indonesia, under the leadership of Anwar Ibrahim, who is deemed to be a person of faith, person of dedications, person for the freedom and the struggle, that there is a possibility for us to increase our engagement with the participation of the United States, Canada, and European countries and other Muslim countries, plus the Turkey's engagements in the region, that we can establish a deterring power in that region against Chinese expansion policies, gradually to gain a support when we needed to establish our country or to fight for the freedom of East Turkestan, that a high flux of human aid, humanitarian aid, political aid, economic aid, or other channels of support will be available or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The answer is boleh. Boleh. Possible. Mungkin. Inshallah. I believe, unstable country cannot help other country. But a stable country or stable nation can help others. There is the first conditions. So, ASEAN regions, as Mr. Moderator mentioned earlier, we have, if I'm not mistaken, probably the largest Muslim populations in terms of regional organizations. ASEAN, we have around 300 million Muslim populations in ASEAN region, right? So it's a huge populations, yeah. And then they are living in very stable region. There is no other region as compared to ASEAN which we enjoy stability since 30 years ago. We have small little crisis, conflict in certain countries, for example in Myanmar, but it's confined within the territory. We have the issues of immigrations that flock to our country because they want to enjoy stability as well, and also the wealth of our country. And we provide some humanitarian assistance for them. And I believe, if we thought that our current Prime Minister, he just gave his very excellent presentations in UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, yesterday, and he talked about among other things about the Palestinian cause, about the oppression and the oppressor. And I think the Uyghur issue can be included in our humanitarian or political to some extent, to convince the other country, to give some platform to Uyghur to profess, to show they should be given. In terms of human rights, in terms of their identity, whatsoever, the rights as a human being, right? But anyway, when we're talking about this, so the boleh answer, the possible answer, there is some prerequisites, some conditions. First is about stability. Second is about economic prosperity. ASEAN is economically. We are, not to say we are dependent, no, we have a very huge trading partnership with China. This is the issue. That now the trading relations between ASEAN and China, or China and ASEAN, is exceeding the China trading relation with United States and with EU. It close to 1 trillion, and last year it close to 100 million in terms of the trading partnership. So it's a huge in terms of economic. I have to say this. As China is our huge market. We need China in terms of economic activities, And also China needs ASEAN in terms of economic activity. That's why we have ASEAN-Chinese trading agreement. Free trade agreement. Yeah, means that the flow of goods and services is almost zero tax. Yeah, there's almost zero tariff. So that's one of the aspects we have to consider when we talk about how to help China. Because end of the day, this is what we have to understand about the state system. We are living the national state system based on Westphalian system, where the country, have to survive. Now, let's see what happened to Ukraine. This is the war between Ukraine and Russia. Some countries want to help Ukraine, but there is some hindrance to help directly. Yeah. So Ukraine have to face, unilaterally, for example. There is a backup from EU, there is backup from America, but end of the day they have to face, with Russia, without any other help. Yeah. So ASEAN country, we are small countries. We are the collection of few small countries. There is a regional organization. We have, as I say, largest Muslim countries, largest Muslim populations in the region probably. But still, in terms of economic, in terms of politics, we are small countries. We need economic independence. We need economic stability. We need political stability, and we don't want to overemphasize on the issue of crisis in the ASEAN region. We don't want to let the Chinese see us as an enemy. And I believe, like you say, soft power diplomacy, for example, is very important. Yeah. Then when China trusts us, we can speak to them about other things. We can speak about, when the Muslim country trust us, we can speak about Palestinian issues openly. So we believe that Malaysia, Indonesia should be given some room, to have some kind of relationship with China, and don't create unnecessary enmity. Don't create unnecessary, conflict between ASEAN region, ASEAN countries with China. This is unnecessary. Yeah, we now currently we have a dispute in South China Sea, but we don't want to go in deep to have a front, to confront the China openly like that. Yeah, we believe it's about stability. So to answer the answer, possible or not possible, it's nothing impossible in politics. I believe that, and we have a current Prime Minister of Malaysia. We have a very stable president of Indonesia now, so they can play a very important role, try to balance between national interest, Malaysian national interest, Indonesian national interest, the interest about stability, about economic independence, about security, about friendship, but at the same time we try to raise the issue of human rights. This is international issues. Uyghur issue is not about the Chinese issue or Uyghur issue. It's also about ummah. We share there is the hadith. I think one of our friends recite the hadith. When we have the one pain and the whole body will feel all the pain. I feel the pain of the Uyghur. That's why I'm here. With short notice, my friend Abdul Rashid asked me, can you please, give some thoughts, share your opinions in this conference? I said, yes. It's impossible for me to reject that kind of invitation because there is a romantic feeling. But at the same time, as I said, it's a very Westphalian system. It's a nation state system. Nobody can help you when you are in trouble. So Malaysia, Indonesia, or ASEAN countries have to protect themselves. How to balance between national interest, economic interest, political interest with the ummah in Uyghur. We believe in diplomacy. Pound to pound, as I said, as I mentioned earlier, we are not equal in terms of in terms of economic, in terms of wealth, in terms of political stability, in terms of political power, military power with China. They are giant in terms of politics, they are in terms of economy. We are small fish, they are a big fish. So how to balance that? But I believe that cultural diplomacy, soft power diplomacy, the courage of our leader in the ASEAN region can give some impact to ego issues internationally. This is my answer, probably. Thank you very much.